Hi fabulous people, I'm Yvonne Sims. Asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. When I left an abusive husband, I had 3 children and a dog, and for 6 weeks I stayed with a family member so that I could save up money for our first apartment. At that time, the only people that knew about my husband being found guilty of domestic violence were my 4 sisters, my mother, and my best friend. I just kind of disappeared from our community and moved to a different city. And so the day that I moved into our first apartment, it was a small 2-bedroom apartment. We were excited, and my daughter looked at me and she said, "Mom, are we gonna stay in a hotel tonight?" And I looked around and I realized we had no furniture. We had nothing. We had left, and the only thing we took with us were bags of clothing and our sentimental items and things we absolutely needed. But there were no furniture, no kitchenware, there was nothing. We needed everything, and I just could not afford on a nonprofit salary, and all my money had gone into just cutting on lights and establishing ourselves in this new apartment. And so I looked across the room and I saw a sleeping bag. And I said, "You know what? We're gonna camp in tonight." And my daughter said, "Camp in? What's that?" And I said, "Well, you know how we love to go camping?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, tonight we're gonna lay that sleeping bag on the ground and we're gonna look up at the ceiling, and the ceiling is gonna be our stars. And I don't know how, but by the end of tomorrow night, we're gonna have beds." And she looked at me and she just smiled, like she just trusted me. And she said, "Okay." So we laid that sleeping bag on the floor, and my kids immediately went to sleep. And I went to God and I said, "God, I need help. I need everything. I can't afford to furnish this apartment, buy everything from kitchen to the bathroom to the, basic living things." And there was this small voice that came back to me and said, "You have not because you ask not." And I knew in that moment what I had to do. Because by me not asking my community for help, I was suffering alone. And so the next morning, I posted to Facebook and I said, on January 27th, a judge found my husband guilty of domestic violence. I fled with 3 children and a dog, and I told them the story about camping in, and I said, "Please, just look through your house and see what you have extra." I wasn't looking for new things. I just needed basic living things. And I will tell you, by the end of the first night and day, we received so much stuff in addition to beds that I had promised my daughter. It was absolutely amazing. And by the end of the second day, I had to say, "Stop, stop, stop. Thank you to everyone." The thing is that, our strength comes in our ability to trust God, and God blesses us through people. When we're not willing to ask for help and allow people to come in, we're hindering our blessing. Many times we don't want to ask for help because we're operating in a spirit of pride. I can acknowledge that I was ashamed of that here I was, my husband had abused me and we appeared to have it all. But there was also a bit of pride because I wanted to be able to do things on my own. Don't hinder your blessing, beloved. Until next time, be strong and courageous.